Hey, we are looking at functions versus relationships. Throw your name on here. It is currently second hour. Hey, a relation is a relationship between two variables. We will always be looking at relationships between x's and y's. They can be given to you or represented in three different ways: as a graph, as a table, or as a list of ordered pairs. Those relationships, so everything is a relationship if you have x's that are related to y's in some way. But only some of them are functions. A relation is a function only if every input has exactly one output. For our purposes, with the variables of x and y, that means that each x has only one y value it corresponds to. So how we will find if something is a function is we will check for repeated x values. Because if an x value gets repeated, there's a chance it might lead to multiple y values. Okay, so the easiest way for me to understand what makes something a function and what doesn't is the vending machine-like analogy. If you push a button on a vending machine, that would be the input. So every button on the vending machine should only lead to one output. So when I push the button that says Coca-Cola, I should get out a Coca-Cola. Who calls it Coca-Cola? That was weird. I didn't like how I said that. If I push the button that says Coke, you should get out a Coke. If I push that button and I don't know what I'm going to get out the other side, that means that one input, that one x value, has multiple y values. Also, is it okay on a drink vending machine for there to be more than one slot for Dr. Pepper? Like there could be 3 buttons that say Dr. Pepper, but you should get Dr. Pepper out of all of them, right? Right. So that's okay. Okay? As long as they're each x, if it's the same x, it's all adding to the same y. It's that if we push a button, we should know what gets out the other side. We can't have it be a mystery. So you can't have a set input go to a mystery output. Okay, so we're going to look at the 3 representations. We are going to start with tables. So when we are looking at tables, we are going to look to see if there are any x values that lead to the same y value. So I'm going to look through all my x values. I've got 3 goes to 5, -1 to 0, 0 to 1, 2 to 2, 3 to 3. Are there any x values that get repeated? Yeah. So this 3 gets repeated. If I were to tell you x equals 3, what does y equal? You could tell me that y equals 5 or that y equals 3, and those would both be correct. Because of this, this is not a function. This is a relation, so we're going to write that down. That's literally it. You're just identifying one or the other. Okay, this next one. Do I have any repeated x values? No. I do have repeated y values, but that's okay. So I have a 0 and a 0. That's okay. That's like having this button gives me a sprite. This button also gives me a sprite. That's okay. So this one is a function because there are no repeated x values that lead to different y values. And then same with this one, -5, -3, 0, 1, 2. None of those are the same, so they have no potential to leading to different y values. So this one is also a function. Okay. Any questions about tables? Okay. Flip this over then. We're going to talk about graphs, which we have actually already talked about. Okay, so we talked about graphs yesterday because since we were doing domain, or not yesterday, but Tuesday, since we were doing domain and range and we had a ton of graphs, I was like, well, we might as well look and see whether they're functions or not. So we use the vertical line test. Vertical line test to determine whether a graph is a function or a relation. If a vertical line only crosses the graph once, then it is a function. If that vertical line crosses more than once, so I'm going to put greater than 1. So that could be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 12 times. That graph is a relation. Okay. I'm going to draw a vertical line here. How many times does that vertical line cross? What? Twice. Okay, I literally just couldn't hear you. I'm deaf. So, like, losing my hearing. So twice. So that one is a relation. It crosses more than once. Okay, this next one, I draw a vertical line. It only crosses once. I have to be able to draw a vertical line anywhere, though. So I need to check and make sure anywhere I draw a vertical line, it's never going to cross more than once. So this one is a function. Okay. Is that very last one a function or a relation? Function. Yep. Vertical line, only ever going to cross it once. So it goes up and then back down. But a vertical line would never cross it more than once. Okay. I have one extra type that I would like to show you that I didn't put on here. If I have a graph, let's say that looks like this. So even though I could draw a vertical line here and it would only cross once, and here and it would only cross once, because I can't draw one here, that one is a relation. So it has to pass the vertical line test all the way for every point along the graph, okay? So it's not just that it has to pass it once or in a couple spots. It has to always pass it. Hey, any questions? Hey, next thing that we're going to do is we're going to look at ordered pairs. This is just a list of ordered pairs. It's the same as if it were in a table. It's just listed out differently. So the first thing is we need to know that in an ordered pair, X comes first. So we are looking for repeated X values. So I've got 5, 3, 2, 0, -1. I'm just looking at my X values. None of those repeat. I don't have any repeats, so that means it's a function. There's no possible way it could lead to different Y values. Okay, next one. I've got -2, 0, 2, 3, 2. So that 2 repeats. And not only does it repeat, it leads to a different output. So that's what we have to check for is, does it repeat and does it lead to a different output? And it does. So 2 goes to -4, 2 goes to +4. So that means this one is a relation. If you can remember, repeats lead to relations. R and R. Okay. Is the last one a function or a relation? Relation? Okay. What X value gets repeated? -3. So -3 goes to 1, -1. -3 goes to 2. So we got a repeat, so we are a relation. Hey, any questions right now? Okay, less than 10 minutes. I told you it would be short and sweet.